this somehow was still a draw. I know this is confusing to some of our viewers.
Oh, he flagged!
Oh my gosh! Levon!
Oh
Who's
no!
been so good in the bullet?
And now it's a must-win. It's a nightmare scenario for Levon.
Levon Aronian has played in every single speed chess championship thus far. His opponent, Dmitry Andreikin, is playing in the SCC for the first time, but Andreikin is no stranger to elite speed chess. He has won 10 Title Tuesdays in the current era. That's only second to Hikaru Nakamura. This match seemed a toss-up to many, including Aronian, who felt that he would need to outscore the practiced Andreikin in Blitz to have any hope in Bullet. A chaotic opening draw was followed by a clean Aronian conversion of an extra exchange, and then there was a shocking turnaround win by Andreikin, who won a dead-drawn 2-1 rook endgame. The fourth game featured absolute chaos with brilliant play from both sides.
It would be madness to go for the win here with rook takes d7, but this game has been full of madness.
Having fended off Andreikin's bloodthirsty ambitions, Aronian showed his own enthusiasm for kingside carnage.
Oh gosh, just check.
God, look at the king. It's just like literally the most one-sided position of all time. That was impressive though.
A clean draw in Game 6 preceded an Andreikin win with black in the Berlin defense to tie the match. But after another draw, Aronian tried to smother Andreikin's king in the final game of the 5+1 segment.
Oh, the king runs to h4 now.
I think you can just take on g5. Just take the pawn.
And king g4.
Oh, look at
D5,
this domination.
G5. Well done by Levon.
Levon taking all of the pawns here. Dmitry's going to resign. Okay, it's over. Knight takes g5.
Yeah.
And it's over.
Aronian held a point lead as the match advanced to 3+1. But after a 100+ move draw, Andreikin uncorked a brilliant queen sacrifice in the second game of the time control.
Queen g5 and rook h4 almost works, and then bishop takes
He played
g3.
it. And
Oh, what an idea!
yeah, he said, "What is this? Not my type of position." He actually was lining this up. Throw your pieces forward. You don't have a lot of time. Neither player does.
Rook h2. But now I think the queen can move back to d1. There's bishop g2 check.
Oh gosh.
Now he's completely winning. Dmitry's gonna flag.
And rook h6 now threatens checkmate. Dmitry Andreikin loses on time. Levon Aronian somehow wins a game where his king was caught in the crosshairs of a vicious attack, but Dmitry Andreikin couldn't find the right continuation.
Such a turnaround would have shattered most players, but Andreikin seemed only to draw power from the frustration as he commenced the biggest winning streak of the match. He won the next 4 games, with the 13th game being a particularly insane time scramble.
Who's better and why? I think it's probably black.
But bishop c3 to
still...
b. Whoa, what is knight b7?
He wants the knight on c5.
But
It's still very dangerous.
He can even think about taking on c5 at some point, pushing a c pawn up the board, and there goes the c
Oh,
pawn.
1 second. He barely got the move off. Oh.
Yeah, he is really in time trouble.
Oh,
He blundered c5.
2 seconds. He gives c5. Yep, he's gonna flag.
Done. He is done.
Oh my god, it's tied again.
I mean, Dmitry is just going to pummel Levon in the time scrambles. That's what he's saying.
After a stabilizing draw, Andreikin pressed forward in another insane scramble where Aronian was the first to promote.
He's holding this.
Oh my
now
God,
queen
what a
d1 is a
move!
huge threat.
Queen d3 was great.
c5.
a4.
c4, rook d2 wins a piece.
Oh my goodness. Rook d1.
Move.
It goes behind the. Okay, a5.
Oh, he played it with 0.1 seconds.
Oh my gosh, he's getting a queen. But knight takes a2.
Knight takes a2.
And
Oh my god,
C2.
it's c2.
Dmitry Andreikin is a wizard.
He wins again. And now he doesn't even have to mate with knight and bishop because he's going to win all his pawns.
It's checkmating.
It's mate. Oh my god.
Look at Dmitry. He can barely breathe right now, but he's creating breathing room in this match. He is now up 10-7.
Andreikin had turned around a 1-point deficit and now led by 3 points entering the bullet time control. If Vegas offered odds on the SCC, they would surely have been stacked against Aronian. Then something amazing happened.
Unbelievable.
It's a queen with check. Levon's gonna win the first game.
And can we just say that Levon looked like a very practiced bullet player in this one?
I know. That bodes so well for his chances. The fact that he was able to blitz out that opening and then navigate a very difficult position while keeping the time advantage.
But he's struggling to checkmate right now. That's
Yeah,
not a
he's
good
like
sign.
checking and checking and checking. And he finally wins the rook. It's
Wow,
a 2-point lead.
That was nuts.
One win preceded another, and while Andreikin won the third bullet game, Aronian immediately won the next. Momentum was on his side, and a win in the sixth bullet game leveled the match with few minutes remaining.
It's over. Queen d7, you trade, you go rook e7. We're going to get resign time here any moment now. Knight g5 is mate with rook g7 and knight f7. Look at that.
I think you make sure you don't get back rank checkmated, but I think after this, if I'm Dmitry, I might let the 15 seconds on my clock elapse, lose on time, just to try to get some sense of composure, to regain the balance, because everything is going wrong for him thus far.
The penultimate game seemed headed to a draw, but then...
He's going to try to flag
my
Levon.
gosh.
Oh, he pushed his king away.
He's making a little bit of progress, but he has this check.
Oh, he pushed his king away again.
But this somehow was still a draw. I know this is confusing to some of our viewers.
Oh, he flagged!
Oh my gosh! Levon!
Oh
Who's
no!
been so good in the bullet?
And now it's a must-win. It's a nightmare scenario for Levon.
Oh my goodness!
Aronian had no time to recover from this disaster. The next game was already underway, and there would be no time for another. Aronian had to win to tie the match and take it to overtime.
And
Quiet
Dmitry
move.
hunting for more pawns.
Oh, what
Oh.
a decision by Levon.
Bishop d7, still
Queen d8.
trying.
Oh, Queen e7, Queen e6,
Oh.
taking everything.
Knight a5. Dmitry's still trying to survive. Bishop b7. No, why'd he go
he had
there?
He gave up a big pawn. A Queen b4 check would be mate. If Queen d7.
That's it. Unless he can
just taking
stalemate himself.
Nah, come on.
This is crazy. We're going to get 4 more games of 1+1 to decide this match.
It's just Queen b4.
Unbelievable.
Just don't give up checks. Right, the king on g2 is actually quite protected from all the checks, but that would be the worst thing ever. You give a perpetual, and this is going to Armageddon.
For the first time in 2022, the Speed Chess Championship went to overtime. 4 1+1 bullet games where the winner would take it all. Andreikin started off well in overtime, seeming poised to win game 1.
Do
A7?
not trade rooks, of course. Then rook a1.
Oh, he's
Knight
somehow...
f1 check. Knight f1.
Oh, it's a draw!
Yes, it's a draw.
And king f2, knight h1 is mate.
Yeah, that's incredible checkmate.
What the heck just happened? Dmitry allows a draw.
After having such a winning position escape him, Andreikin looked like he might be in trouble in game 2, as Aronian found the brilliant rook takes e6, which thrilled the commentators.
That's the huge pawn, Robert. You can't afford to lose it. Rook e6. Oh!
Oh! That was a sick tactic.
Oh my god, he
gosh.
won the pawn. But it's still, he's not out of the woods. Look at the knight.
Is there like a
Oh!
f4?
Now he
This
can
is
take
too
on e6.
complicated.
No, he can just
Yeah,
take the
but-
rook.
Wait, what's happening here? Knight f7,
Look.
rook e2?
Knight h2 is mate.
Oh my goodness.
Levon is
Knight f3,
losing.
Rook f2 mate. It's mate.
Oh my lands. And now Levon has to win with black.
With his back against the wall again, Aronian remained unfazed as he built up such a dominant position that he could even afford to blunder a rook.
Here we go. Oh, he blundered f5. Ho, ho, ho.
Wait, queen d5 check. I think queen d5 is still good for black.
Oh my god, it's still
Oh my-
winning. Oh my god, he blundered
That's-
a full rook and it was still winning.
That's how winning his position was to begin with.
And now he's just going to promote his pawns, isn't he? Unless he blunders his bishop. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Get
How
me
many
out of
pawns
here.
does he have?
Fabby's in the chat. Be still my beating heart.
Yeah. Well, c3, too many pawns here.
C2.
c2. C2.
Oh, or D2.
And then c2.
He made
king
the most
mops him.
long-winded possible win. Like, Levon gave up all possible material. Okay, Dmitry.
And he wins the
resign
game
time.
in the end with the lone H-pawn. Fabi, you didn't jinx it. Always good to see you here. He's checking out the
Dmitry.
rest of the competition. Dmitry Andreikin is going to lose this one. The match is going to be tight. But look at Dmitry. He didn't resign right away. He knows that he's feeling a little bit on edge. And now this is the final game of the match. If it's drawn, we get Armageddon.
It's not going to be drawn. No draw. Let's see a decisive game here.
With one overtime game remaining, Aronian was pressing with an extra pawn, when suddenly Andreikin found some shocking mating ideas.
Uh-oh.
That's bad news for Dmitry, because now it's
Hello.
a clean extra pawn for white.
Yep, and now just move the bishop cleanly away, but don't give up the pawn on b3. How do you do that, though?
I would play go c4. I don't love that but the bishop on b5 just feels awkward right now.
Queen to c5, offering another queen trade. You can't let that knight jump into c5. This is bad for Dima. Queen b6.
Really, but knight d4 though. But queen b6, we're gonna get some trades. Black will have the activity
Are we
for the
gonna
cost
get a
of
draw
pawn.
here?
It seems not completely unlikely, does it?
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Wow.
Okay. Now Aronian down to 24 seconds.
And the rooks are double in the d file, so the only fully open file, well, I guess the e file is open, but there's a bishop on e6, is black's for the taking.
And is there a case to be made for rushing this a-pawn up the board? The problem is that there's always this shadow of the rooks doubling on the second rank, which they're going to do. But the rook
Anya,
from f3, yeah?
Do you remember that earlier game when Levon was up a pawn, it was much better, and then Dmitry got his rooks on the second rank like this? This
How
feels
could I ever
similar.
forget? Takes an
Feels
h5.
really similar. G4, G3.
This gets dangerous. 15 seconds for Lev.
Oh, what a move, though. Bishop a4, giving his rook to g5 square.
And now the pawn is going to get to g3, and there is rook g5, as you said.
Yes.
And he plays it immediately.
I think I would have left it on the table, just hoping that Dmitry played g3 without seeing rook g5.
Uh-oh. Wait, is there rook d1 and h4? Is there rook d1 and h4?
Gosh. And you're trying to create a
plays
mate.
it.
Look at Levon. Levon grabbed his head. He sees it now. And it's a little bit too late.
He might have to sack on
2
g4.
seconds. He's 2 seconds. He sacks on g4.
No, but now bishop
time.
g4. And rook f2, and black should be winning.
Oh, but okay, he goes
Wait.
rook d1 check. What's he doing? He let the king out.
He played rook h4.
Oh my gosh, and Dmitry is beside himself.
Oh my god, he blundered. And now he's up a million pawns. But Robert.
But Levon down to 2 seconds.
Yeah, look at that clock. That is Dimitri's only hope right now is that he flags.
Yes, and he's trying to bring a rook to g1, but he can't attack g2 a second time.
And here come the other pawns. Levon's dropping a bunch of pawns. What is he doing?
He's giving all the pawns away.
Why did he do that? And he's giving another one away.
No way. There's rook e5, and it attacks b5 as well. It's big move there.
Still winning. It's still basically winning. He's giving another one away.
How many pawns can he possibly give up without giving away the advantage?
Why did he do that? King g2.
Oh, rook h5. Rook h5. It's game over.
It's winning. Oh my god.
Yes, it is.
He's going to make a queen.
Oh my gosh, and Dmitry barely is getting the moves off in time.
Move to g2. Where is he going?
Just run away.
Oh, it's almost made.
f6 is almost made.
What?
Back.
Why?
The pawn stopped.
Oh, but he gives up b5. No, rook b7.
Oh, rook b7. That's huge.
And h7. And Robert, bishop h5 at the end. Just go h7.
Oh, wait, no. Rook h1, bishop h5. Good point. But then bishop h7 and f5?
He's going to flag.
He loses on time.
Oh!
He lost on time. He's beside himself. He's so upset. And that's the match. Levon Aronian takes that drink of whatever he's been drinking, but it's led him to success in the board. He gives away a little bit of a smile there.
Oh my god. I have not breathed in the last 5 minutes. This entire overtime.
This spectacular victory by Aronian positions him for a possible match against top seed Hikaru Nakamura, who needs to overcome the resilient David Paravian in his own upcoming match. Aronian has joked before about the challenge of playing Hikaru in Bullet, but maybe the prowess he showed today has boosted his confidence.
Levon, we wish you the best of luck. We will see you in probably about a couple hours, I guess, for the match with Hikaru, so enjoy your rest. But we will do our best and